these young men. First of all, let me talk about Villanova for a second. That team gave us everything we had and more. They were well prepared, great group of kids, played clean lacrosse, played hard, unique style, really gave us fits. And so credit to Coach Grotto and his staff and his players for such a great game. As far as our guys go, we were hoping they wouldn't just take this, the first game west of the Mississippi and that being enough. And I thought in the first half we kind of played like that. But again, credit to Villanova for taking it to us for that. But the second half we came out strong, got down 8-5, and then bang bang, as we've been able to do in that third quarter over the year, got back to 10-10 and just had enough steam, enough heart, and just enough class to go out there and win a game against a very good team.
Bill, Jamie Faust and Mark Matthews, is it fair to say that they struggled mightily in the first half, but yet were probably two of your best players there at the end?
Yeah, I think again, you have to give Villanova some credit for that. They were shooting the lights out. It's a tough shot. That shot they were getting coming around the back, and their midfielders were so quick. Our short sticks, our defensive middies have covered people all year long and haven't been beat like that. So we've got to get back to the drawing board on something like that. Mark has faced some adversity with people being all over him. They weren't sliding off him all week. We talked about being patient on offense, and I didn't think we were in the first half today. And Mark got a little frustrated. But once he gets that first one, boy, I tell you, he put on quite a clinic there in that third quarter, and then Jamie took it over in the fourth.
Coach Jesse Pierce, Inside Lacrosse. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
How have you kind of touched on it a little bit, with the big hype over it being the first game west of the Mississippi. How did you and the team kind of deal with some of that extra media attention going into this week while you're prepping so hard for this big game?
Well, thankfully it was a long week, so we could get some of that stuff out of the way, but I'm not quite sure you can tell 18-year-olds to don't pay attention to this or that's not important. They're smart kids. They know what's going on. They see all the great articles written, all the great coverage we've had, and I'm sure they think of the what ifs, and when you start thinking about what if, you might forget about the next opponent. But again, I thought each game of the past 2 years we've learned a lesson, and I think today put us in a situation to learn another lesson, and that's that we can be a very good lacrosse team, but we can't play. We've got to come out and respect and play the other opponent, because they're going to play very hard at this time. You could see today's game, as good as I think some of our opponents were lately. This thing had a higher speed to it. This thing had more emotion to it. The people in the stands made the place rock, and it was great. But I think you're also dealing with young men who, it's new to them, and we've got to, doesn't do any good that I've been there before. I couldn't throw a ball in the ocean from the shore. But, they have to do it, and I think they learned some lessons today.
Coach Pat Graham, how you doing? Nice to see you again. Congratulations. Was this a load off the program shoulders, too, just to get this win, to get this first inaugural win in school history?
I worry about people putting a load on this program's shoulders because we're very young, and we're very young at what we're doing, and these young men who were in the program when I got here, and the ones who have come ever since, they don't know about burden. All they know is they want to get better, and so. Could it be distracting? Yes, certainly it was, and maybe a burden put on the guys who have to cover some little quick midfielder behind the goal and get it done. But if we'd have lost today, I'm sure there'd be a lot of disappointment, myself included, like with the Notre Dame game. But if you're going to build a winning program, it's not just winning a game. It's about being in these situations, knowing what it takes to win, so that you can get to the next level.
Right up here.
Jeremy Noble gets beat on the defensive end as they go up 8-5. He responds with 3 straight ground balls and 2 more goals. Can you just talk a little bit about his performance and what he meant to the team today?
Well, Jeremy, these Canadian kids, they have ice water in their veins. I mean, you're going to see 3 of them in a little while. These guys don't get flustered by things, and they're very matter of fact and very honest. So that when they make mistakes, they just look you in the eye and they say, Coach, I made a mistake. I'll get it back. And that's what Jeremy does. That's what Cam Flint does. That's what Mark Matthews does. And credit to them. They've you know, Jeremy's not the biggest guy. He's not even the fastest guy, but he has got heart. You saw how many, I don't know how many wings of face-offs he took today, how much he was out on offense, how much he was out on defense. You know, you can only practice so many things during the week, and practicing your offensive middies on defense isn't a high priority, but we're going to work harder on it this week, I can tell you that.
Coach, what do you credit for the improved face-off after initially struggling a little bit?
Well, I thought Chase was a little wired today. We saw this in Kentucky when he went home to play. He was so amped up for the game that he was much more tense. Normally his speed and his quickness comes from being loose, and today he was a little more tense. He hasn't jumped 2 times in a game all season, I don't think, and today he did it right away. So he just needed to settle down. He wanted to play more offense. We needed to get him to concentrate on the face-off game because they were doing such a great job, especially number 45. And, you know, the second half, I think we got some ground balls. We adjusted to what Chase was doing. And, again, Jeremy Noble and Cam Flint come up with some great ground balls for us.
Bill, quick thoughts on Saturday's game in New York.
You know, it's interesting, and all respect to Dermot and the committee, but I kind of find it funny that one team plays Saturday at noon and the other one plays Sunday and has to travel 2,000 miles to get there. But you know what? If you told me that I was going to be in this situation, I wouldn't care if we played today and had to play tomorrow with a flight in between. We're going on uncharted waters. We're playing one of the most storied programs in the world of lacrosse, with one of the best coaches, and it's going to be a show for our guys. You know, what we've got to do as coaches is get the guys to understand that we can't come in as tight as we did today, otherwise it might be 5-0 and not 2-0. But you know, we're excited. We don't get a chance to play a lot of these people during the year, and to have the opportunity in the NCAA tournament in the quarterfinals, you know, at Hofstra against Johns Hopkins, this is a dream.
One last question.